To 19 at noon. We are talking about very cold air across the area. And we are going to be talking about a warming trend headed our way this weekend. So the big concern today, of course, was the cold air. It has been cold. It is still cold. We're only in the teens across most of the area. The good thing is we're seeing sunshine. So yes, that's going to help to melt some of that frozen precipitation, even without those temperatures climbing above freezing, because those temperatures will not be above freezing today. You're still going to see some of that frozen precipitation melting off thanks to that UV radiation. So that's good news there. Now, an area where they are dealing with a lot of snow is along the Great Lakes region. Let me actually move this a little bit. We are seeing some of that heavier snow across parts of, well, northern Indiana, kind of moving off of the lake there near Chicago, but especially more snow headed here to those areas that have seen more than a foot of snow, more than 5-6 feet of snow over the weekend. So they're still dealing with some of that snow along the Great Lakes region. So a lot of, a lot of travel troubles, of course, across the area, that kind of thing. So definitely a problem across parts of the region. So for us, though, not going to be a big deal. Of course, we do expect that air today to be quite cold all day long. Not going to see much of a warming trend today, but again, it will remain sunny. I think we could see a few flurries later this evening moving in, especially further to the north, but most of us will not see any kind of impact from that. Temperatures today will only be in the 20s. That's the first time I wrote it down. I always say I wrote it down and I left it in the weather center, but I brought it with me. So the last time we had high temperatures in the 20s was January 21st, and it was actually exactly what we're forecasting for our high temperature today. It was 24 degrees officially at CVG. On January 16th, so a few days before that, it was 18 degrees. So say today we actually don't make it to 24, say it's like 23, 22, whatever, it's still going to be the coldest day since January 16th. So we actually had a cold snap there in January. We even had overnight lows that were below zero. So it was a lot colder than now. Of course, right now, our temperatures this morning were in the teens, but wind chills were below zero. Oh, let me show you that actually, because that's quite impressive too. So some of the, and you know what, I might make this into a graphic for the afternoon shows. The coldest wind chills that we had today, I'll just read the ones that were below zero. CVG -2 was the wind chill, -6 in Connersville, -1 in Batesville and Falmouth. So it was obviously a very cold morning. Temperatures right now, teens and 20s still. 19 in Connersville, 18 in Batesville, 22 in Westchester, 21 in Florence and Milford. Everybody in the teens and 20s right now, but it is still windy. We still have gusts of 20 to 25 miles per hour across the area, so that's making it feel quite cold. As a matter of fact, the wind chill right now in the single digits. So it has been a very cold day so far, all the way around, but these wind chills have been dangerously low, and that's why, of course, a lot of schools were closed, and a lot of things were kind of changed or altered, maybe moved indoors if things were outside, things like that. So 21 degrees right now at CVG, wind sustained out of the west. I think actually it might be better if I just go to this side. Wind sustained out of the west at 18 miles per hour, but it feels like 7. So the wind chill, again, they're still in the single digits. If you're going to venture outside and enjoy the cold air this evening, bundle up at the Festival of Lights. Temperatures will remain in the 20s. Today they're open until 9 p.m., tomorrow till 10. Tomorrow will be a little bit better, not much, but it will be better if you can hold off. I want to show the future wind gusts. I know I have future wind chill in here, but I want to kind of show the actual wind speeds too, to show when we actually see some relief. Here we go. Hi, Susan. Yes, bundle up. Hat, scarf, gloves. Hello, Sarah. Okay, let me take this full for you. So this is what it's going to look like as far as those wind speeds for the rest of the day today. Still 25 to 30 miles per hour. By this evening, we finally see some relief. It's pretty minor, but wind speeds, 10 to 15 miles per hour. So as you wake up tomorrow morning, still going to see those wind chills close to single digits, but it's not going to be near or below zero. So then those winds, breezy at times tomorrow, and then the weekend still going to be a little breezy, but it does get warmer this weekend, so that's not as big of a deal. And I'll show you. Okay, I just want to make sure I put that graphic in there. Okay, so today, again, high temperatures only in the 20s, mid-20s for your high temperature this afternoon, about 24 degrees for your high. So still, hello Becky, still going to remain a very cold day for sure. With the wind chills in the teens, the actual temperature 24, but look at that. The normal high for this time of year is 46 degrees. We're nowhere near that. Lots of sunshine expected today. We will see those clear skies for much of the day. A few clouds later this evening. As I mentioned, a chance for a few flurries the further north you go. But for most of us, it will be dry. As far as those precipitation chances, so we are dry the next couple of days, and then I'm just going to let this go into the weekend. You'll see here on Saturday that we are looking at mainly clear skies, cold weather though, and then it does get warmer. 40s Saturday, close to 50 on Sunday, but we do stay dry. Okay. I want to show those future wind chills. I'm so afraid that I'm going to spill my coffee, so let me move it over here. Okay, so future wind chills as we head into, and I don't know why this is, hold on, let me change this 1 second. Today we had a funky schedule, so I didn't have as much time as I would have liked to kind of prepare for this, but we're going to go, let's go through the weekend. Here we go. Okay. Now let me exit out, save it. Here we go. All right. So as far as those wind chills today, again, for the most part, they'll be in the teens as you look ahead to the next hour or so. We're looking at the wind chills, single digits and teens. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, let me put a pause here. Tomorrow morning, also still looking at teens and single digits. So it's not, it's not as dangerous. It's still going to be cold. If you're still going to be outside waiting at the bus stop, perhaps, maybe walking the dog, going for a walk or run yourself, you just have to bundle up. This isn't the kind of air where we say just avoid being outside at all costs. Now, you're going to have to evaluate that yourself. If you do have health issues, if you do have, breathing issues, respiratory issues, something like that, then yeah, maybe you don't stay outside for very long at all. And obviously frostbite can be a problem. So just make sure that you're using common sense in these types of conditions. But my point is it does get better. Then over the weekend, the wind chill just really not much of a factor. Just kind of typical for December, really, if you think about it. So as far as rain chances, though, let me actually alter this one. I don't know why. Here we go. Okay. So as we head into the weekend, we're looking at dry weather through most of the day Sunday, but by Sunday evening, 10, 11 p.m., that's when you start to see that rain move into the area. And those showers will remain scattered throughout much of the day on Monday. As a matter of fact, Monday, we usually don't say, oh, it's not a total washout, but I actually think Monday could be a total washout because the rain lingers throughout much of the day until sunset. Tuesday and Wednesday, we've kept the chance for rain in there, but it's all very light. It's very manageable. We don't expect any kind of significant impacts from that rain. Okay, so let's look ahead to the 7-day forecast. We'll go beyond the 7-day forecast as well. Diane, I don't think it's bad because it's dry. But if you look at this 7-day forecast, maybe if you can wait till Saturday, it's going to be a lot better. It depends on how long you're going to have to be outside kind of putting up those Christmas lights. But yeah, I mean, you notice that we do see this gradual warming trend all the way through Monday. From 24 today to 34 tomorrow, 40 Saturday, 50 Sunday, mid-50s on Monday. So we're continuing kind of this warming trend, which is nice if you haven't liked the cold air. Scattered showers Monday and isolated rain chance Tuesday and Wednesday. We do start to see that temperature drop by the middle of next week, but let's see how long that lasts. As we look beyond the 7-day forecast, not long. We're already back to the 40s and 50s into next weekend. Great weather as we head into the middle of December. I mean, again, if you don't like the cold air. So this cold snap, it comes to an end basically Saturday. It's still going to be cooler than normal Saturday, but it does get better. Okay, let me get back to some of these questions. Oh, I wanted to show the lows so far today, which again, temperatures really fell throughout much. Let me actually see. Because it was actually pretty warm this morning, like very early this morning. So for example, at midnight, it was 42 degrees. By 1 a.m., 32. We were in the 20s by 3 a.m. And then actually, it looks like the low might have been 16 degrees this morning. 16 or 17. Oh, shoot. And now we're up to 21 officially at CVG. All those numbers coming in from CVG. For some reason, CVG doesn't show up here, but if I go into edit mode, it will, I think. Yeah, I don't know why it does that, but yeah, so it was 16 this morning at CVG. Okay. And yeah, and that was set, well, let me see, what time was that? Like 9 a.m. So, I mean, it continued to drop until 9 a.m. and then finally started to go up by 10 a.m. So it was one of those days where definitely our high temperature today will technically be, so that's the other thing. We technically won't have the coldest day since we'll have to go back to January 16th. I'm just now having this revelation. So because our high temperature today will technically be at midnight when it was still in the 40s, right? Did I say 40s or 30s? I guess it was already dropping by then. But either way, our high temperature will likely be in the 30s. So this won't be our coldest day since January because our high temperature was at midnight. It's definitely the coldest afternoon that we've had in a very long time, though. So actually, that's interesting. Why? Here we go. Okay. All right. I got sidetracked there for a second. Yeah, I think, if you have outdoor pets, definitely keep them in mind, or farm animals, as Susan says. Definitely going to be a problem. Okay. So I actually need to 24. So the low was 16 unofficially. Sorry, I had written this in a script, and I want to make sure that I change it. So yeah, so now our website is updated. Okay, so yeah, so this morning temperatures were in the teens, and it took a while to get there because we started off pretty warm. Okay, I want to show the wind chill again for tomorrow morning. Okay. And throughout today, so it does get a little bit better. The winds will fall to about 20 miles per hour this afternoon, so the wind chills will be in the single digits and teens. Tomorrow morning, it's better. It's definitely better than it was this morning. We'll have the wind chill in the teens and single digits again, and then this weekend, it does get a lot better. Especially as we head into Saturday and Sunday. Show you that 7-day forecast again because it does feature that warming trend. So if you don't like the cold air, you only have to wait another couple of days. So today the high temperature only in the mid-20s with those gusty winds and very low wind chills. We'll climb into the mid-30s. Tomorrow back to the 40s on Saturday, 50 degrees on Sunday, and mid-50s on Monday. We actually see rain move in Monday and Tuesday. That cool down there on Wednesday is brief. It actually only lasts on Wednesday. And then we actually see those temperatures back into the 40s after Wednesday. So that's good news too. But again, you want to pay attention to that wind chill today for sure. We always say, that's really what you want to dress for because, the longer that you're outside, of course, in these conditions, the more serious those issues can be, frostbite, hypothermia, those types of things. So wind chill right now as of this noon hour in the single digits, and I mean, can't even really say teens. 10 is what it feels like in Harrison and Warsaw, 11 in Dry Ridge, and that's the highest that we have. Feels like 5 in Connersville. Now, I mentioned this yesterday, I think, or not yesterday, I was off yesterday. I mentioned this Monday or Tuesday that the National Weather Service has actually changed their the way that they put out they call them cold weather products. So basically, they've trimmed down. They used to issue separate things for if it's going to be cold versus the wind chill is going to be low. Now they've streamlined those. So they say they've consolidated those. So they're just going to be extreme cold watch and warning, cold weather advisory, and then of course we had freeze watch and warnings, which those are really in the fall. So that's kind of ended. Although technically it is still fall. astronomically speaking. Meteorologically, it's winter though. That starts on December 1st. But so for them to issue those extreme cold watches, warnings, or advisories, it has to be the temperature or the wind chill has to be at least -5. And so the only place that made it there today was Connersville. So there were no extreme cold watch warnings or advisories issued because most of us actually avoided that. It's just something to keep in mind as we get into the winter. If those do get issued, now you know that it's at least -5. The watches and warnings are issued for -15 to -20 or colder, and that's temperature or wind chill. So they streamlined those to make it kind of less confusing, but none of those were issued, so that's good. It was still cold, but not cold enough for them to issue those. I would still say it was dangerously cold, especially again depending upon how susceptible you are to those issues. Kind of that air that just takes your breath away. Feels like needles in the lungs. Okay. Just want to make sure that I did this right. Looks like I did. Okay, catching up on those questions. Yeah, and I can't believe the Great Lakes region continuing to see more snow. It's just, they cannot get a break up there. Let me actually see where they have. Yeah, there's a lake effect snow warning. Still in northeastern Ohio, portions of Pennsylvania, of course, New York. Gosh, now I have the hiccups. Okay, I think I caught up on the questions. So I mentioned this earlier in the week. We have some funky schedules this week. They got funkier. They were even funkier than we expected. So I will be back at 3 and 4 o'clock today. Ethan Emery has your evening weather, and he'll have your streaming show at 7:15, and then I'll be back tomorrow as well. I'll be on here 19 at noon and a couple of the newscasts as well. So getting you ready for the weekend, having your weekend forecast and all that. So that will be tomorrow. But again, I'm going to go get ready for the 3 and 4 o'clock shows, update that forecast, all that kind of stuff. But for now, I'm going to tell you to stay warm because I think that's what everybody says today. I went to the store today and that's what they said. But yeah, try your best to stay warm. We do have relief in sight. It's going to take until the weekend, though, before we see that warmer weather. All right, I'll see you back here on Fox 19 now at 3 o'clock.